Hey y'all, this is Tai Chi Basics Part 2. These are common errors I see. Now here I am checking to make sure my middle toes are lining up with my kneecaps. I'm relaxing my shoulders as much as I can. Taking a deep breath. And I'll start into that movement and then immediately notice how my right toes turn out. And that kind of puts tension in my kneecap and also in my pelvis, spine area. So a lot can go wrong there with just those toes wandering off. So I want to, especially when starting, just keep our feet in neutral. Remember, middle toes lining up with the kneecaps. And we're focusing on that hip rotation. As I do this hip rotation, notice I'm staying right above my center line, that midpoint between my feet. Like I'm kind of drilling myself into the ground here. Now what I'll see people do is shift their hips side to side, and I'm losing my structure here, and it's also causing tension on my knees and in my back. So again, I just want to think about corkscrewing myself into the ground, the midpoint between my feet when I'm moving my hips, especially at first. We're trying to build the focus on the hips. Next thing I'll see is people will throw stuff from the shoulders instead of the hips. So yeah, there I go. Now, my elbows are splaying out wide, they're going above my shoulder. I get a lot of tension in my torso and can hurt a shoulder joint really easily. So when we practice this, we want that elbow to stay low and by our side. Now it's not attached to my side. You'll see there's some space there. It's about like a tennis ball or a softball width away. And the elbow stays low. It's going to help relax my shoulder, keep the tension out of there, and keep the focus in the hips. And I'm going to do that from the side. So we can see here too, see all that twisting in my upper body. That can really put pain on the low back and in the shoulders as well. So again, we're going to have that elbow nice and low to our side. And it's going to come back, but it's not going behind us. It's at most to our side. It's low below the shoulder. No tension in our shoulders or excessive rotation in my back now. Another thing I'll see is people will start to really make their circles super big and they'll be going over their heads. And this is a slight exaggeration, but not by much sometimes. It's a lot of tension in the back, shoulders, and it's also obscuring my vision, which, for martial reasons is important. But for us, for now, we just want to make sure that we're at or below our nose level, and that's going to help encourage us to keep our elbow down and shoulder relaxed. You finding any tension in your shoulders while you're doing this? First thing I want to check is where my elbow is going, if it's staying by my side or not. Or is it going behind me? See if it goes behind me, I can get tension in my low back. We just want it to be nice and calm, below our shoulder. Our hands are staying below our eyesight. That elbow is staying to my side or slightly in front of me. It's just that hip rotation that makes it look like I'm really extending it far behind me. It's that deceptiveness again. Now the next thing I will see, I'm going to readjust here real quick. We're going to talk about the hands. And you'll see me checking on my line real quickly. Yes. People will punch out or just really hold fists because they have a lot of tension. They're trying to concentrate, and you see it throws a lot of tension into my arms and my back. When we do this, I want my hands to be nice and open, fingertips are relaxed and calm. You'll notice how my palm's rotating out towards the camera and then comes back in. We'll talk more about that in a second. But this way, no tension in our shoulder, we're leading from the hips. Now, if I do this, but keep my palm facing towards me the whole time, and again, this is a slight exaggeration, but I want you to see how it affects my rest of my body. I kind of end up buckling and using my upper body more and throwing tension into my back. We really want to think about the yin-yang of everything, so there's always going to be a nice rotation in our wrist. My palm's towards me, and then it's away from me. You can think of picking something up from your fanny pack, like a candy, and giving it to your friend. Or they have a candy and you turn your palm up to receive it, you pop it in your mouth, and then follow the hand down. However you want to think about it. But just notice how I'm letting my wrists rotate, just like I'm letting my shoulder joint rotate. There's just always going to be movement. And those hands are nice and relaxed as much as they can be. I'm always told that I throw too much tension into my thumbs, but I'm working on it. And the last thing is just to be relaxed. If you find tension anywhere, just take a deep breath, settle down, and restart. No big deal.